Well, good morning, everyone. We're a little bit late this morning, but it's, excuse me, a beautiful day down here, sun shining, it's hot. Anyway, we have Jean, oh boy, Jean, and Margot from TRIANA. Morning, Aida.
Morning.
I muffed that, eh? Just pronouncing names. Anyway, so here we go. Great to have you here. Jean, you have quite an interesting story. I think you were officially the last entrant into the IGR, the last ones to sign up. So you had a compressed time. You have a media background. You have chosen a Swan 53 with a beautiful Dodger on deck, very comfortable. You've got an interesting crew. Tell us a little bit about how you evolved into the IGR, you know, where the dream came from.
Yes, hi Don, hi Jen, hi Aida. We are very happy to be here. It's, as you often say, it's the first step, but it could be the most difficult to be at the departure of the race. And as you said, we began very late because I decided to participate to the race only at Christmas, because before I didn't know. And I remember it was, I think, a day of October or November, last November, I gave you a call asking you if it was still possible to register to the race. And as a very good race director, chairman and entrepreneur, you told me, of course, come. So that's why we are very happy to be here, because you know that it's very difficult to prepare, and in 6 months it was a huge effort. I decided to take a Swan because that's not very original, but it's the history of this race, and I think when you don't have a proto, it's a good choice. And then after that we select also a crew. 25 years ago, when I was a little younger, I was a crew member of Olivier de Kersauzon, you know, the French skipper. And we tried the first Trophée Jules Verne, so which was to go down to 80 days for the tour. And during these years, I met some of other crew members like Sébastien Odigan, who became after that a stable crew member of Olivier de Kersauzon. And then that's a clin d'œil of the history, because then he comes now with me for this challenge, which is a very, very big challenge. But Sébastien is a very good sailor, crew member for years. So I think we have a good boat. We have a good crew with 8 people. Margot is our media woman, so she's one of the younger crew members. We have young people, and a little less young than me, as me. And I think the mix is very interesting.
Yeah.
And as you said, one word about my background, because I'm very happy that we established this partnership with M6 Group, because I was for years a CEO of this media French company, which is now, I mean, one of the stronger media company in France, with RTL, which is the first national radio, and M6, the French TV. And so they were very interested about the story of the race, because Whitbread is a name speaking to everybody. So they wanted to follow the race and the crews, and of course TRIANA. So each week they will make a short story of carnet de bord de TRIANA and the OGR. So each week on the news of M6 and on the news of RTL. So we will have a live on what is authorized by the chairman, which means which means the sat phone Iridium for the radio on live, and we will send videos each week made by Margot and I for M6 in order to create, this episode and really inform and interest people about the following of the race.
Yeah, actually the French contingent, we have 5 boats from France, but we have 90 crew out of about 220, so there's a huge involvement, and that was the case in the early Whitbreads, as you would no doubt remember. Anyway, Margot, so you're a journalist, you're on board journalist as well as as a female sailor. We have 30%, I think there's about 30% of the sailors in the event are also women. How's your perspective on, you obviously must be a sailor as well, you know, how do you feel about being here and what do you see as your role?
You mean how I see my role on board?
Yeah, and also how you got to the position to be selected as crew on board.
Okay, so first of all, good morning to everyone. And let me tell you a small story. So how everything started to me, it was because our team manager, Maria, helping us a lot on the project, sent a message on the social network. They were looking for a photographer or journalist, someone like motivated to come on board. And I saw the message and I answered. I was pretty sure that they won't respond to me. And finally, she called me in the hour and she told me, okay, if you can be in Marseille, we say in English? Marseille in the south of France tomorrow, it will be fine, you can come with them. I was like in the mountain this time. I hitchhiked until Marseille and I came to discover this wonderful crew because I don't know how to sail, but I really wanted to learn first, and I really want to work in journalism, but in the realm of adventure, and I think it's a really good one to start, a really good adventure to start, and yes.
And so, without having sailed a lot, she came on Marseille, you know, to make the first qualification round of 1,500 miles from Marseille to Brest. So Margot came, and it was one of her first trip on boat. It's not bad, no?
I think Jean, Margot is, of course, we all know Odigan, and we are all jealous about you because you have Odigan on board, this skipper that the French know him very well. I think circumnavigated 8 times, did the Jules Verne Trophy, everyone knows him. So you are very jealous about that, and you have some other strong character. I remember Stéphane, which is a fisherman who is there to feel a dream, and he really wants to do it. So you have a lot of characters on board. So your MC's weekly thing will be very, very interesting. But I think that Margot will take all the lights. And you know what? Even of you, because she is a real adventurer. For me, I'm not a sailor. I just watch, I just read books, I watch people, and sometimes I see that light and that power inside, that energy. And then yesterday night I was Googling to see what she did in her life, because it looks for me like an adventure. And I discovered you are Scott, you are a swimmer, you spend a lot of time, even if you are so young, working in Vietnam and in other areas with children who have no education in difficult areas of the world. So I think having a trip around the world, it's easier, isn't it?
I think it can be easy, but depending on the crew, and I totally agree with you. We are really lucky to have Sebastian and Digan, but we are lucky to have everyone on board, because each one we are like, and together we are, I think, really good.
We hope.
And you, Jean, everyone knows you in France, of course, M6, Paris Première, W9, Les Girondins de Bordeaux, he also did food. Now he's having one of the very, very nice winery in Bordeaux in France. So we know the businessman, and we also know that the businessman is super, super busy. How you could find the energy for the project and the courage, we said courage in English, to stop everything and go around the world for 8 months.
I think that the more you do, the more you can do. You know, it's like that in life. And the less you do, it's the opposite. So, I mean, I decided that it has to be a priority, because, you know, what Don has organized, and the revival of this Whitbread is exceptional chance to participate. So in this case, I mean, you organize your life. I have a lot of young talent like Margot in my companies, so able to manage it even better than me. So now I decided that this race was a priority. So night and day we work over the last 6 months, and now we are here.
How old were you when you sailed with Kersozon?
It was between I would say 18 and 25. We made the Course de l'Europe. You know, it was a race around Europe, and then after that I spent 1 year based in Brest to prepare the first Jules Verne challenge. So it was an incredible chance for me.
Was it the first Jules Verne challenge or
Yes.
your first Jules Verne?
It was the first.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
First
give me
one. Failed,
one.
but failed.
Yeah, but give me 1 minute explanation. What did it feel like? I mean, is it still an inspiration to you, or is it a
of
distant
course.
memory?
Of course.
Explain it with the
I
boat.
I swear to me that this day, I swear that one day I will make the tour, because we failed. Because you know it begins with a
Hang on,
bet.
just for those that don't know the Jules Verne,
Yeah.
it's a non-stop around the world against the clock. It's quite famous now, and now you do it in 2 weeks. Not quite. That's very fast. So you were one of the first.
Yeah.
Describe the boat and your role
So-
and experience.
It was in 1992, and so the record was at this age détenu. It was Olivier de Courcezon himself who had the record with 120 days. So it's incredible, because 30 years ago it was 120 days.
Now it's like
It's I mean it's
Yeah.
a life.
Yeah.
And it's a story of a bet between Florence Artaud, you know,
Yeah.
and Titouan Lamazou. One night at the bar of Brest, they decided to launch this idea coming from Jules Verne's author with the Tour du Monde en 80 jours, to go down to 80 days to make the tower, to make the Tour du Monde. Okay, and so it was in '92, and Olivier de Kersauzon, who was one of the famous French sailors at this stage, was the first one to say, "Hey, I have the record with 120 days. I will try to go down to 80." So at this date, he decided to build a big trimaran. Charal was 30 meters, so it was the ancestor of the Ultime of today, because it was the longest boat at this age, at this date. And so we built the boat in Port-la-Forêt, and then we trained during 1 year in Brest, and we tried to, but the boat a cassé very rapidly, so he didn't get the first Jules Verne, but he get the third attempt after Perron, so 2 years after, on the same boat, but that was the story. But it was incredible to, at this stage, so now it's 40 days, as you know. Sébastien Digan has the record of 40 days, so in 30 years, 120, 80 and 40. So, and now I think we are at, on est à un plancher. It's very difficult to do better than 40.
How will we keep then Odigan on board for so many days? For the OGR.
Because he's older now.
Is that the OGR, the connection with that time of your life? In between you stopped a little bit racing, right?
Yes.
Is that, yeah, so the OGR is reconnected to that period and the revival of that great memories.
I think that, you know, life entertains you, and when you are 50, it was my case. All your dreams of a young man are reopening. So you know, so for some of you it's going to the Himalaya. For some of I don't know, but to me it was clear when I hear Don, and when I had this phone call with you in last November, I decided in 1 hour after that I will make it. So it's like dreams of young people, you know.
Yeah. So Margot, you're a non-sailor apparently, and you stepped on the boat and did 1,500 miles. Just tell me how much of a non-sailor you were previously, and maybe just a couple of, what's your favourite other adventure? I didn't get on Google to do the full search, but the best part of your other life, and now non-sailor, bang, 1,500 miles. Did you get seasick?
That's a good question. But no, finally not, except when I'm in the front of the computer in the boat. Sometimes I feel a bit bad, so I come outside. it's fine. But no, before I only have 10 days of navigation in my life. So so 8 months is like a quite important thing, but I think it will be fine.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But you mean after what I have done, except filming?
Just a favourite of your previous life.
Okay. I grew up in the mountains, so even if I don't really know the sea, I know well expedition, the mountain expedition, and I practice a lot alpinism, and we organize a lot that kind of adventure for many weeks. And for me, it's the preparation for this project or mountain expedition is the same. You have to have the mental, you have to have the same humidity, the same organization, to be rigorous, and finally it's not so different, but I'm not sure. I will tell you when I come back.
Yeah,
I think it's the same.
Yeah, personal fear, like have you got some fear about this journey for 8 months around the world?
I really would like to eat salad on board.
Okay.
I'm really afraid to miss salad,
Yeah.
but no, not really fear. It was hard to leave the people we love on the land. That was really hard for me when we left France. I cried every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Okay.
Twice.
Okay.
But, but now you have to leave, and now I just wait for Sunday to leave and to be in the race. And after it's like the mental, you are focused on your crew. You are focused on the sailing condition, and yeah, it's like a competition moment. I don't know.
You won't be alone. There'll be a lot of crews that'll be crying. There's something mysterious and mystique about sailing around the world. You know, you just even comprehend what it really means, and it means not the impossible, but the unknown. You know, that's there's a certain romantic element to that whole journey.
That's true, but you spoke about Sébastien Ondigan, and it's a real pleasure to navigate, for example, with him. It's the first one I met with Jean, and when you listen his story, you just want to go with him.
Yeah, I mean, he's not here, so I've got to be careful, but I'll ask you an opinion on this. Do you think he's relaxed into this journey, thinking it's a unique way or a different way to go around the world? And as you say, Jean, he's getting a little bit older, you know, can you feel a sense and a different emotion in him for this journey over some of the others that he's done?
I don't know him in other contexts, so I can't compare, but I feel him really relaxing to take us with him, and that's a good point for us. And what do you feel about Sébastien?
He always have a very. As for the entire crew, he shows a real pleasure when he's on the sea.
Yeah.
So I think it's in him as it is for a lot of our crew members. We see the change, and suddenly when they are on the boat on the sea, there are different men and women, and they are happy. So I think it's the secret of all these guys.
Yeah,
it's for Sébastien, but it's the same for Jean. When you look at him like driving the boat.
Yeah. Are you the only girl on board, Margot?
Yes, I'm the only girl on board.
And is that the first time to lead an expedition? Not lead, because you are not leading in this case, but doing an expedition with an all-men crew.
For so long time, yes. Because 8 months it's a lot, but I'm not afraid about that, because for me it's like big brothers around me. And
Swan, can you introduce, because Don has a favorite thing. He never asked to the skipper to introduce the other crew on board. He asked to the young person to see a little bit who are the others, because he mentioned 2 or 3 already. Who are the other crew on board?
Yeah, what do you think about them? You know, just give us your impression of some of the other crew. Your impression.
Okay, so all really motivated people, that's sure. We have Titu, is a really good marine as well. Is the
First mate.
The skipper is Jean, Sébastien is the first mate, but Titu is helping a lot Sébastien as well, and he is really good. Stefan, you told you spoke with
my favorite on your boat with you.
The fisherman. Yeah.
the fisherman.
Yeah.
They have a soul and
Is
an
it
understanding of the
triad?
ocean. Yeah.
Yeah, but it means that if we have fish, we will eat really well. That's
Yeah.
good.
It's true.
Yeah.
And we have also Titouan. He's the youngest of the crew, and he's really good in electricity thing. And thanks to him, we are ready on that. We have also Jörg. Jörg is a racing competitor as well, and he should arrive tomorrow. And he's a German guy. He's really nice, making lots of fun
Yeah.
of everything. And we have Max, and Max will arrive today. I don't meet him in real for now, but I'm pretty sure that it will be fine.
Yeah, cool.
Young guy also.
Yeah. So Jean, you've invested a lot of time, money, effort to get the boat right. Are you happy with where the boat is right now? You know, there's something that you would have liked to have done to the boat that you haven't had time to do, or you know, how do you feel right now?
It's never totally ready, as you know. It always, but I think now we have made the main effort and the main step to be in security and having also performance. So I think the boat is ready now.
I'm not sure. I'll make an assumption here. You may not have ever sailed a boat like that, you know, like TRIANA, you know, this sort of heavy displacement ocean boats. How do you feel about the boat? Are you emotionally connected to the boat yet? You know, what's your description?
Yeah, that's exactly the case. It can be perceived as ridiculous, but we already like this boat, and it's fun because at Christmas, you know, in 10 days, I called Alain Gabet. You remember Alain Gabet?
Yeah.
Who missed to win the Whitbread one time, and who made the Whitbread 3 times. So when I was young, it was a hero for me, and I called him. I knew him, and I tell him, "Come with me. We will try 4 or 5 Swan." So we tried the 51, we tried the 53, we tried the 65-1, and one day it was obvious that it was this 53. We loved it. It's a German phrase design, so it was obvious that it was this boat. And with Gabet and Mickey, who is also another guy of the Whitbread, we spent 3 days on the boat, and we decided that we will buy this one.
Yeah, cool. Okay. So your biggest fear now, Jean, you know, for the race, you know, once it starts, what's your biggest fear or apprehension?
Oh my God.
No fear.
Oh, there's that many?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that nobody can say that there is no fear. Of course, it's obvious, but the main objective for a skipper is to get back everybody. So we will have a very strong security discipline on board, and we had a lot of chat about the Meteo, which is one of the big. We don't want too much to subir, but we want to anticipate, which will be difficult because some of the southern seas can be very difficult. So I would say the first and the main, not fear, but the main objective is to be really secured with all the crew on board.
Yeah. And what's your biggest joy, you know, in terms of at any time during the race or after the race, your biggest takeaway? What are you personally trying to achieve from this, or you know, what are you looking forward to most?
Just do it.
Yeah. See what happens.
Just do it. It's something that you cannot explain. Why I decided in 1 hour to do it after talking to you, nobody knows. It's something in you. So then we have to federate the crew, to keep a good level of emotions, of willing. We will do. We will do it.
Yeah. And what about watch systems and food on board? You're taking all.
Oh, that's the worst question because they are all vaccinated with Lyophilisé. You know Lyophilisé? You know what is Lyophilisé? Dry food.
Oh, dry food, or freeze dried.
So,
They just
for a French guy like me, liking good food and wine, it's terrible. That's the worst.
So you're obviously not a dry ship. You're going to take
I
wine.
imagine the big steak when we will come back.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, I was just, I think we go for the conclusion or not yet?
Margot, is there a question that you would have liked either Aida and I to ask you, or is there something that you'd like to say that's to sign off? Anything about the race or your emotion or feeling right now?
We are going to do the best. And we are going to have lots of fun as well.
Yeah.
So I think this is a good conclusion, isn't it? Good luck to you, 5 wins. I don't know if people realize what a huge effort you did, Jean, to decide to put a boat only a few months ago on this race, to have the crew on board today, to have the boat ready to go. And we will watch this boat because it's a huge, huge effort that you already did. I think it's one of the last, with Godspeed, last boat to enter the race. And honestly, I was thinking all this time that will not be able to be at the start because it was too complicated. It was impossible, and you did it. So far wins to you, and see you in Cape Town first.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so we'll see you again shortly with another
With White Shadow.
White Shadow coming on. So yeah, good luck to everyone.